So, new video here, we're going to be seeing how this goes, but basically I'm going to be doing a starter deck battle, a little more beginner friendly. It's going to be commentated over, so a lot different than any other video on the channel. Obviously Fight Night is the only other thing that I usually commentate over, but this is going to be fast forward gameplay, so it's a little bit quicker of a match, and I can talk about each card coming out and make it beginner friendly. I am dueling here with my teammate Beer from Team Deck Planet. Obviously he's got Twitch, go follow in the link in the description. But for anybody new here that's never seen me, I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch. That's also in the description. But let's try to see what the heck we can do here, and if this is any kind of video you guys want to see in the future. I do have another video with my teammate Yuvraj in the works. It obviously needs to be commentated over, but if you guys like this, I'll post that one hopefully tomorrow. But for right now, we're dealing with these two bad boys. So we got Beer here on the left with the starter Goku leader, and we have myself here on the right with the starter Gotenks leader. Basically both these starter decks were shown off with their Z leaders. The other two involve Z battle cards instead, and this is all the brand new mechanic that came out this set involving Z energy and Z cards in your Z deck. So this Goku's activate main says once per turn, look at the top 10 cards of your deck, add up to one yellow Earthling only card with an energy cost of 1 or one yellow Unison with a specified cost of 1 to your hand and shuffle your deck. And top 10s are actually pretty rare in this game, so it is really good that he can find this Bulma here, which is going to allow him to draw a card, and it is used for his awakening condition, where this leader's awaken is when your life's at 4 or less, or you have one or more yellow cards in play with Bulma or Yamcha in their character names. So he's going to awaken, untap an energy, draw one, and flip his leader over. But with this awakening condition, he does have to cut down to 6 life. He's using that extra energy to play this Bulma Unison, which is brand new to the starter deck, and it gives all your Son Goku childhood plus 5k that are non-grade apes in your battle area, and it has a +2 ability, so you add 2 markers, and it can play a Goku from your hand, Son Goku child that's a non-grade ape, and it also has a -1 on auto. When your opponent attacks, you can switch this card to active mode and give it blocker for the turn as an auto. Passing over to my turn here, I got my Gotenks leader, swung, drew 1, and now I'm using the activate main on this Goten card, so 1 energy. If my leader is green Gotenks and I discard this card from my hand, I can play or add up to 1 green Trunks Youth with an energy cost of 3 from my deck. I choose to take it to my hand because the main focus of this deck is Union Fusion, and to Union Fusion I need to send 2 cards from my hand that meet the required of the Union Fusion. So obviously with Goten and Trunks, I'm going to make Gotenks, and I need to have them at equal power, just like in the show when you fuse, they need to be at equal power. So up next here, we're going to see Beer paying 1 energy for Son Goku, Lands of the Unknown. So this is unique barrier dual attack, and it has an activate main limit 1 where you tap 1 yellow energy, switch one of your battle cards Unison, which he switched his Unison here, and then he gets to play this Goku card. And because it is a dual attack, it is base 10k, but with that Unison it is 15, so it becomes lethal to my leader even on its awakened side. So I'm taking the life here, cutting down to 7, and that's with his leader swing. And what this leader does is it chooses 1 card and switches it to rest mode on his side of the board, and then when it attacks, he chooses all of my non-energy cards, switches them to rest mode, and he can either draw 1 or search his deck for 1 yellow grade ape. Definitely a really good board control deck. Here's the Yamcha Dashly Bandit, another new card here with Barrier. He looks the top 5, and this is basically a free rest for his leader, so he can choose to rest that, and it basically restands itself and restands a Goku that hasn't attacked for the turn. And he grabbed the no opening Son Goku off of that, and that is a Goku that he's going to be able to play for free here off of his Unisons +2. And now he's swinging a 20k onto me because it also gets that +5. I'm down to 4 life here. I can already get into awaken range turn 1, so his deck can get really aggressive. Of course, him being able to awaken on the very first turn of the game is very strong too. Not a lot of decks can do that. So passing back to my turn here, I'm going to charge my second energy, already within 4 life, so this is going to be my awakening turn for sure. I am going to play the Vegito Unison, so I'm getting the full effect of everything here. The Vegito Unison actually has an auto where I Union Fuse, I get to draw an extra card. And my leader, when I Union Fuse, I also get to play a Ghost Token in rest mode, so I want both out for the maximum benefits. I'm going to go for my Union Fusion here, so a new card. That is actually the Gotenks Fusion Confusion, which is kind of the Veku version of Gotenks. But this is the main card you want if you're not at 4 less life to awaken you on turn 2, because it doesn't cost anything. It just costs sending a Green Sun Goten and Trunks to the drop area to pay for his Union Fusion. The other true Gotenks fusions in this deck, I believe, all cost 3. There are different ones from other sets that cost less, and definitely would be something to look into investing if you are looking to fully complete this deck. As I said earlier, I'm going to be swinging into that dual attack Goku because I don't want that on board. Being 15k dual attack and barrier is super strong because it is protected from a lot of skills, because barrier doesn't allow me to choose it with the effect of my skills. But I'm going to get my draw here, and I'm going to combo one of those older Draft Box 3 Gotenks, and it's going to go directly in my Z energy because I want to fuel my Z leader, which needs 3 Zenkai energy, and it needs me to pay 1 energy as well. So I'm going to try to get that as quick as possible here because it's just a better version of my leader. Going to use my super combo, so every deck includes 4 of these. Obviously, if you're not running them, you're just at a disadvantage, but I am going with the ones that come in the starter deck, which are pretty good, and I'm going to put it directly in my Z energy there. Like I said, I'm trying to get my Z leader off this turn. Going to free play Sun Gohan potential unlocked. In a lot of matchups, this card can be really good. It's unique blocker, and I get to play for free if I have a Unison card in play. Except in this match, he's going to get rested by Beer's leader over here because as soon as the Goku leader swings, he rests literally everything except my energy. So if I had stuff with barrier, he couldn't touch it, but still, everything's going to get hit by that. I got my 3 Z energy there. I'm going to pay my 1, and I'm going to Z-awaken. So with this leader, being Z-awaken leader, it does have the same auto when I activate Union. I play 1 Ghost Token, but does not have an auto on swing. Instead, it has an activate main limit 1 where I draw 1 and switch this card to active mode. So that's why I swung with my original leader first, got that draw, then I Z-awaken it in rest mode because I'm still able to Z-awaken, restand him, and then draw 1. Back here to Beer's turn, he's swinging with his leader. He is resting his Bulma and making my whole board rested. The Unison also does give all of my battle cards Revenge, which is when they are targeted by an attack, the attacking battle card is KO'd, and that's why I have those orange markers on them. And Beer over here looks like he is swinging dual attack at me again. Like I said, I wanted to get rid of that card, and he knew it. He was sacrificing a lot of cards in hand just to try to keep it alive, and it was working because it is a pain in my ass, like I was saying earlier. Beer's still at 5 life, I'm at 4, and I'm just going to be comboing cards away here and just to keep myself alive. And he's tapping 2, trying to X-evolve into Rampaging Great Ape Son Goku. So this card, when it evolves, chooses one of my energy, and it locks it out. So basically that's why I'm putting the die on there, so one of my rest mode energy stays locked out. But I did use a counterplay, Charismatic Villain, which basically if I have Unison in play with 2 or more markers, I get to use it for free. And what it does is when it comes into play, I choose one of my opponent's battle cards 7 or less and KO it. So I chose to KO that Great Ape Goku because I didn't want to mess with that. It already rested one of my energy because it did get to come into play because his card would come into play. His autos go off first, then my autos would go off, KOing his Great Ape. So I'm going to swing here again, and I'm just trying to clear that Goku. I do not want that Goku there, and he's going to use Flying Nimbus, which is a negate. It's a counterattack, basically negates the attack, and then he can choose one yellow card in his hand, send it to the drop area. If he does, I can only attack with battle cards one more time for the turn, and it was smart of me to use a battle card swing first because I still can use my leader swing and Unison swings as many times as I want. Obviously, only have one leader and one Unison, but my leader does restand himself. So it isn't a horrible waste of a turn. I'm using my last battle card swing here with my 15k Ghost Token. Ghost Tokens, they can be whatever you want. I got my own tokens that someone on my team, Jonah, made for me, so that was really nice of him. But we're swinging here again at that Goku. He's using the blocker on his Unison, so I'm swinging again with my leader now, trying to clear it. there's his super combo, the Krillin, which is basically the yellow version of that Great Saiyaman that I used earlier. Bottom deck 1, draw 2, and then it gets 10k combo power for the battle. And then I am swinging again. Oh, look at that. Another Krillin. 2 super combos used. He is holding on to that Goku because it does reduce the X evolve of the ape cards in his hands too. So it is an essential card for this deck. At least with this build that the starter deck is trying to go for. I know this leader is very versatile and can go many different ways. My leader's kind of more locked to going for the whole Union Fusion package. His is more like, it's a really good yellow leader, and you kind of just need the Earthlings to awaken, but after that I think you can go pretty off the yin yang, go nuts there. And I am going to be going into my Boo Volleyball Negate. So basically I can negate the attack, I can choose one card in my hand, send it to the drop. If I do, I can grab 2 fusion pieces back to my hand. So I'm going to grab Goten and Trunks so that I have pieces for next turn. And then everything gets rested. They all have revenge, so if he wants to attack with a battle card, it gets KO'd. And he is going for the Unison here, because my Unison does have a -7 ability that is really devastating, where I get to look at my opponent's life, take one of their life, send it to the drop area, and they have to discard 3 cards from hand. And here is a big card for the starter deck, the Turles All Too Easy. Double strike. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, then you can choose one, so you can either draw a card or choose another card in rest mode and KO it. He chose to KO my Frieza and draw one because his hand is very low here, and it's still a double strike card, 20k, that you're only paying 2 energy for with his activate main, because if your leader's a mono yellow Saiyan and you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand by paying 2 yellow energy. And he's going into his Youthful Bulma, getting his draw there. Another target that he can rest with his leader next turn, but mostly here it's going to be for the draw 1 and a combo piece on the board if I don't get rid of it. Going into my turn 4 here, I'm looking what to charge. I finally get access to all my energy since that Goku effect is gone. I'm going to tap 3 and go into my first big card here, and that is actually going to be the SS3 Gotenks All Out Assault. And he is a Union Fusion for 3, where I draw 1, and I get to obviously play this card by discarding those other 2. I can X-Evolve it on energy cost of 3 or 6 Gotenks as well. If my leader is green, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's Unison cards, remove 2 markers from it, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So I wanted to get rid of that Turles. It's a double strike, it's a nuisance. I did want to get rid of the Goku as well, but the Turles being 20k and the Goku only being 15k, I can swing onto the Goku where he'd have to pitch more cards from hand for his combo effects. I made the mistake here swinging with the leader first, so I do lose out on one of my leader swings and still only have 1 battle card swing. So I'm going to go with the Gotenks and swing, and he used the Frieza Army Reinforcement negate. Basically, he can take a life, and he gets to play a token that has blocker for the turn. And he's going to use the extra card as the blocker himself. Just tokens can be anything. Die, another token card, doesn't matter, but that's what he was using it for there. And yeah, he basically stopped my turn with that. He is at 3 life now. He's in a position that he likes because 3 life is actually where he can now get into the Z-awaken game. So I was actually confused by this. I thought his leader only Z-awakened when you had 2 or less life. I was fool. And we're going to see that play coming up right now. He's swinging with his leader, and this is definitely the way you'd want to be doing it. Resting all of my potential blockers, anything like that. He is doing his free combo from the drop area with his leader. And now he's looking at his Z leader, making sure he's got the cost for it. Paying the 1, dropping the 2 Z energy to the drop. And he is warping a Goku childhood from the drop, which are all requirements of his Z-awaken. And his Z-awaken is really good. His auto is choose 1 card, switch it to rest mode, and when this card attacks, play up to 1 yellow Bulma with energy cost of 1 from your hand or drop, so you can get a draw right away. Most of these Bulmas in this deck draw or search. And then for his activate battle, you place 1 Z energy to the owner's drop, remove 1 Son Goku childhood from your drop area from the battle, and at the end of the battle, remove this card from the game, and this card gets plus 10k and double strike. So that's what he's doing to me. The leader on base already has critical, so critical just meaning that the cards in my life would go straight to my drop instead of my hand, and this is disgusting here because I didn't know this was coming out, so I had to combo literally most of my hand to stay alive here. So I believe the swing was at 40k, and I combo up to 45, making sure that I get to keep those 3 life, because going down to 1 life in this situation was probably going to lose me the game. He's tapping 1 here, Youthful Bulma, and my hand size might be the only thing here that even came close to saving me this game. Going for another Turles, KOing my Gotenks. Why wouldn't he? It is a 30k double strike, and I am using Homicidal Clones, which is exactly like the Frieza's army, except it plays a meta token, which is actually comboable. The Frieza's army tokens aren't comboable, but it does have blocker as well too, and I use that blocker on his next attack to save my life. And we are going into turn 5 here. I'm going to be looking to end the game here because he is at 3 life and not too many cards left in hand. I'm going to go for my first swing here, and that's actually going to be on with my ghost token straight at his leader. And he's going to go for another Nimbus. I didn't think he'd have another Nimbus, only having 3 cards in hand. Now he's down to 1. I'm going for my second ghost token swing here to see what it'll do. I want him to take the life because I do have a plan here. And he's going to do the auto on his Unison to restand it and give it blocker for the turn. I'm going to combo. And, oh, there we go. Got him down to 2 life. Going to now go with my Unison because I cannot attack with battle cards for the turn, but I'm not restricted on my Unison or leader. Unison swing first. He's going to block. That is the optimal thing for me because I do have one of the new cards in my hand where I'm going to tap to empower 5 of those markers. So I'm going to gain up to 5 markers from the previous Unison underneath, and I put it down here while I was reading, but it's actually getting played for 7 markers. I will minus 6 of those markers and make Beer discard 2 cards from hand here. So he's got no cards in hand left. I did do a miscalculation. I was thinking that I'd be able to get double strike right away on my leader. I needed a Goten and Trunks on my Z energy to be able to get that effect. But like I said, both of us is the first time playing these starter decks, so not completely optimal play here, but just enough for anybody new looking to get into the game. This could be close to what the average match looks like. Not completely optimized here, obviously, but that's how this game works. You roll with the punches, and then I had to think of a different strategy to win here, and I had to hope that he didn't have a way out, because he's at 1 life, he's tapped out, he does not have any blockers, and he only has 1 card in hand now. So I didn't think there was any single thing that he could do to get out of that. Most of the time, if it was a negate, he would need energy, or for the free negates, he would need life. So I felt pretty safe comboing off my whole hand there to get the victory, and it did work out for me. Like I said before, this is the first time either of us even looked at these decks, and Beer obviously has been tinkering with the other starter decks to make actual full builds that they obviously are way better than the starter decks, and he's a high level player. So this is definitely not what you'll see typically when you see these leaders if you ever go to your locals or anything like that, but it is a little taste of what the starter decks have to offer. And if you like this different style of video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, because this was a pain in the ass to make.